Have you ever met someone online that you're friends with to this day? Have you ever been in an online relationship? I'm at the bridge. In today's digital age, it's so easy to make friends with people. Someone across the country, someone on the other side of the world perhaps. In today's video, we'll be discussing 5 true stories of online long-distance relationships. Maybe that person that you're talking to right now could be your future spouse. Belinda and Neil met in a bar in New York City, Belinda being there for a business trip, and Neil being from the UK to see the sights. After speaking to Neil for 3 hours, she gave him her business card. 3 days later, she received an email from Neil, and from that point onward, they spoke every day via email and oftentimes from Skype and their phones. Neil flew out for her birthday in 2010 and also for Christmas of that year. They started talking about their future, and Neil asked what her ideal ring would be. Several days later, she received a package in the mail. 2 months away from a planned trip, she decided to try the ring on. Neil then, seeing this opportunity, feeling that he could not wait, asked her to marry him. She said yes. They got married 2 months after April 2012 after filing the necessary paperwork for Belinda to move to Wales with Neil. They then got married 2 months, and in June 2012, after getting married in May, they moved to Wales. Belinda has a blog where she chronicles being an expat in Wales and her relationship with Neil, where she provides advice for long-distance relationship couples. There is this new thing called Airbnb, which has been out for a little bit now. Airbnb is a service for people to rent locations, typically for vacations and such. At the beginning of Airbnb, there were very few listings, and Hassan had to go to Washington, D.C. for the launch of her project, Table Tribes. Table Tribes is a way for individuals to connect over food and such. It's an event type of thing that you sign up for. So she found a place to stay in Washington, D.C. that another individual had happened to rent another room in the same location. A man named D from Switzerland who was there to do research for a book he was writing. Hassan decided to go out and to do things with ID, seeing as how they were staying in the same place together. On the last night of their 7-week stay, Adi asked Hassan if she would like to pursue a relationship with him, to which she said yes. They made it a point to see each other every 3 months, until Adi went back to Switzerland, where she visited occasionally, and they even still used Airbnbs. A year and a half later, Adi moved to Washington, D.C. to be with Hassan, and then 2 years later, the pair married. How can it be that two people are so much alike that are on opposite sides of the world? That's what Helena thought at the age of 15 years old. Bored, she decided to join a chat site where she was matched with an individual who was unnamed, so we'll call him Bob. She started talking to Bob for 6 hours. As she spoke to Bob, time passed and she had realized that 6 hours had gone by. So they traded email addresses, and ever since then they talked every day. It's all that she wanted to do. It became an addiction for her to talk to Bob. Things happened, and 2 years later, they were finally able to be together. As of the time of the posted article, they've been together for 6 years and 9 months. So if you meet some random person online, it could become something. 3.5 years can be quite a long time, but it seems the norm for the LDRs covered in this list. Ashley is a 29-year-old life coach from Texas, USA, and Peter is a writer from Canada. In the year 2008, Ashley ran a blog where she wrote about bad dates, and she was introduced to Peter's blog from a friend of hers. After commenting on his blog for a little while, Peter was informed that Ashley was his blog crush, so to speak. They started talking in emails and Gchat, and the distance didn't quite bother Ashley too much because she had a love of traveling, and she felt that that Texas was never going to be the place that she would remain forever. They spoke on Skype for nearly 3 years before she finally went to meet Peter for the first time. She recalls that even though she spoke to him for so long, that she was still nervous meeting him. But that subsided at the 30 minute. They are not together full time as of the date of this article, so they only see each other partially, I guess. They are focusing on their respective businesses. But they make it work very well for each other. 650 miles. The distance between UK and France. Between Hilary and Mikkel. Hilary met Mikkel, who was a receptionist at a hotel in France, on a writing trip. They were together for 3 years in an arrangement where they would talk on Skype and where she would take a 2-hour flight to France, which was a bit of a hassle due to their varying schedules. However, they kept their relationship alive, always counting down the days when they'd meet next. Mikkel and Hilary made the final move, with Mikkel moving to the UK. They have settled into each other's lives, enjoying the monotony that comes with being in each other's presence. And the cultural differences have been a bit of an issue between the two, but communication is an important aspect of their relationship, and it should be of any relationship. We can clearly see that long-distance relationships can survive and thrive, despite this myth of, oh, it's never going to happen, when first and foremost, any and all relationships can fail. Despite being in the presence of someone, it doesn't really matter. And there's advantages to having a long-distance relationship, and there's disadvantages, just like any kind of relationship. And really, it's about the choice that two individuals make together to hold on to each other despite the circumstances and the challenges that they face together. And who knows, maybe it could happen to you. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. If you have something that you'd like to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. Subscribe to see more of my content. You can like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter to get updates outside of my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Cares aplenty.